Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we learned about how to create a React application with TypeScript as language. So, React TypeScript application and what are the changes in configuring state, event binding, style binding. So, how we display the data. Some changes we learned about. As I told you, rest of concepts are same. Routing, forms, validations, everything is same. One, if you are using Material UI, in Material UI, you tried any components? Huh? I give an example of MUI, right? So in Material UI official website, you will find both JavaScript and TypeScript example. You can go to TypeScript and you will see the change, how to declare references and all will find. Now, after understanding all these, now we will see how to build a complete end-to-end application using React. Actually, React is not for building an end-to-end application. React is only for building the UI. It needs support of several frameworks. With the help of frameworks, middleware, we need to build the application. So today we are going to see how to build a application. And to build the application, so what we are going to learn here is MERN stack. We are going to see the MERN stack. And one important is we have a requirement of JavaScript and React.js in a company. I posted in my Instagram about the requirements. This is my Instagram community. In the Instagram, I posted the requirements. Once go through this for other people also we will post. This is the Instagram community. Here I posted the requirements. Today is the last day to apply for that. So here we have requirements. One is this is actually so I need to log in, right? Okay, I think I need to log in. Yeah, you go through this. This is a React.js requirement, and they have given the qualification of this. People who are these year passed outs and have 70% of marks, they can apply. It is an offline test. Interview process will be in Hyderabad. And this is freshers, 3 lakh per annum. That is 3 lakh per annum and 3 years bond. And they will explain after the first year, they have a certain hike in the package. So this is React.js and the same, they have JavaScript requirement also. That means only HTML, JavaScript also required. So eligibility criteria I given here. This is the eligibility criteria only for these people. If you belong to any of these, then you can apply, right? In my Instagram, I already posted these two requirements. Their official link also we given. You can register from their link, right? From their link. So it is for freshers. Some more people are there asking for technical, non-technical background any. They want React and UI developers. I will post soon once they confirm with me, right? So another company is there. These people are strictly for only these passed outs, right? And if another company is there, another company is asking for technical, non-technical, anybody, freshers in React and UI. I will soon confirm with them and I will post those requirements, right? In this registration, you need to mention that you are from Naresh Technologies, then they will refer you uh, for an interview call. So this is our, they are one of our clients. Several students of ours are working there already. So our students are working there already in various technologies. You go through that. That is for, because you are now aware of many things in React, now you can even apply that, right? So for React, and of course, JavaScript, you already know. And if you are good in JavaScript, then you can apply for those two jobs, right? And the complete eligibility criteria I given there. So nothing else other than that. That means others are not eligible. Make sure that you have all that criteria. Okay, now let's see how we can build an application. And now we are going to learn how to build an application using MERN stack. MERN stack application we are going to build. So we will learn how to build a complete end-to-end application, the MERN stack application. So MERN stack application, so where we need database, middleware, React, Node, all these. I will explain what they are. So first, what we need to learn here is we have to deal with MongoDB. MongoDB is a database. MongoDB database. Here, our intention is not learning MongoDB. I will give what is needed for project. For a project, what you have to learn. MongoDB is a separate database and you need to learn this MongoDB as database. And here we are going to see how the MongoDB database is used. So first we will learn about the database basics. Then we will create one project. So for that we need to learn server side database requirements and all. Actually, what is the point about MongoDB database is, so it is a non-SQL, non-SQL or no SQL database. People call non-SQL or no SQL database. So I am keeping simple overview about the database systems. So it is an non-SQL or no SQL database. People call this as, because you know that database needs a language. And what is the language for database? SQL, structured query language, right? So why you need this language? To manipulate the data in database, to communicate with the data, you need a language, SQL. But MongoDB is a no SQL database. That means it doesn't need SQL. It has simple functions like JavaScript, like JavaScript array methods, JavaScript object methods. By using such methods, you can easily control the data. That means here all data manipulations are done by using simple JavaScript like commands, JavaScript like functions. So you don't need any special language like SQL. So people who have awareness on JavaScript, they can easily handle this database. That means it is an database without SQL as a language. We don't need SQL as a language. And what is the some of the key features about database MongoDB is it is document based database. It is document based database. Some key features I will just give here. It is document based database. Document based database means actually it is schemaless. It is schemaless. Schemaless is a structureless data. It is a schemaless data. So structureless data. So what is schemaless? Schemaless data is actually, for example, what is schemaless is, for example, one simple concept is suppose you are using databases like Oracle or like MySQL, some databases, all some SQL Server. These are all different databases usually used. Now you are creating one table. To store the data, we are creating a table. Now in this table, so the first row is having name and second first row is having some price like that. And in the second row, it is having name, it is having price, so it is having rating. Is it possible to maintain such data? So it is not possible in Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server. That means I will give another simple point for you. Suppose we are designing a form. That means we are creating a registration form. This registration form, in this form, there are 20 fields to fill. In the 20 fields, 8 are required. 8 are required. And 12 are optional. Optional. Then for how many fields I need to prepare a table? For how many fields I need to prepare a table? For all 20 fields. But one user is filling 11, another is filling 8, another is filling 16. That means what about other fields he left out? What about other fields he left out? The other fields he left out are left empty. Are you using those fields in your queries? I want to read the data from a table. Are you using those fields which he left out? Obviously, you will be using, you will say select name from table, select star from table you are using. That means you are writing one query to read all the fields. For every user, you have a separate query. For every user, are you writing separate query? No. For all users, query is same. Then for how many fields you will write the query? All the 20 fields you will write the query. Why you are writing 20 fields query for a user who have only 8 fields? Why you are allocating 20 columns for a user who have only 8 data to fill? That means lot of memory issues will come, lot of query issues will come. So that is how actually your databases work. Do you know what is the solution for this kind of data management? So that means the data depends on the requirement of the user and client. It can change according to the requirement of user and client. We don't design for database, we design for business requirement. According to business requirement, first user needs 8 fields, we will design only 8 fields for him. Second user needs 10 fields, we will design 10 fields for him. This is possible in MongoDB. That is possible in MongoDB. And the mechanism of working for business requirements, not for data requirements, this mechanism is actually called as, in our software technologies, we call it as, it supports ORM. We call this mechanism as ORM. What is ORM? Object relational mapping. Object relational mapping or object relational mapper, ORM. So these days, in all software technologies, we prefer using ORM mechanism. All technologies are using this ORM. ORM means, what is the concept of ORM is, developers will not write for database. Developers will write for the business requirement. Business requirements. Earlier, what we used to do, we need to write for database. That means until database is ready. That means, do you know here, suppose we have business requirements and we have data requirements. So what developer used to do? Developer have to write for the data requirements. Developer have to write for data requirements. Earlier, we used to write for data requirements. So to write for data requirements, first data must be ready. Suppose database is not ready, table is not ready, then developers need to wait until the database is ready. Once database is ready, we can query for it. But these days, developers are not following this technique. We are following to the business requirements. Developers are writing for business requirements. And according to the business requirements, only data is created. That means we are writing for business requirements. These business requirements will map to the data. And what is speciality? Do you know, if this data is not ready, that means database is not designed, database is not created, still your logic will be working. Do you know the speciality of ORM? If database is not ready, it can create database for your requirements. It can create database for your requirements, which I will show you. That means it will design the database tables, and even it will put the data into the database tables without touching the database. That means as a developer, you just write a logic. According to your logic, if there is a database, it will communicate. If there is no database by that name, there is no table by that name, it can create. That is the specialty of ORM. That means developers will not write for database. Developers will write for business. And what is the specialty here? According to the business requirements, if database is ready, then it will communicate. If database is not ready, it can even create. And remember, this may be surprising or something new. That means database is created. That means you don't create database. You just write the logic. You just write a logic. According to your logic, database is created, tables are created, data is seeded into the database. And actually, this type of concept of automatically creating everything for our requirements, that means developer asks something and it is going to create everything for the developer. Actually, people think that this is artificial intelligence like. That means from AI, artificial intelligence, this is happening. But actually, this is 15, 20 years old concept. That means we have this mechanism 15, 20 years back, ORM. 15 years back, we have this ORM mechanism. Now, do you know what people tell about artificial intelligence? They say that I will ask these requirements, it will create everything for me. That is not surprising or new for expert developers. People who are in software technologies from more than 15, 20 years, they have seen such things so many years back. For your generation, these type of automatically generating logic for your requirements, it may be new for you and it may be very interesting for you. Chat GPT and all these, what they do, they are creating logic for you. You just ask, it will design logic for you. Do you know? We call that mechanism as scaffolding. Scaffolding means a developer just asks what he wants and software will design everything for it. Do you know we have 15, 10 years back, we have ORM mechanism where we ask the software that I want this communication with database. It will write the logic, it will design the user interface also. That means it is going to design user interface also. User interface means it will create the forms for that requirement. Because you don't know all technologies, you are not aware of everything in software development process. That is the reason these things will excite you very much. Like Chat GPT is doing that. And many people even worried that my job will go because artificial intelligence is coming. That means no more humans will be there. So artificial intelligence is taking over. Nothing will happen. Artificial intelligence is not going to take over anything from you. Your jobs are safe, you are safe. Because artificial intelligence is technically not proven safe. Not proven safe. Artificial intelligence is not safe. And due to that, we don't try to implement this artificial intelligence everywhere. Even we implement within limits. We will not take the artificial intelligence more than requirement. And which is already we are doing in several places we are doing. Why they cannot take this completely? Because lot of technical issues will come. I hope you people know 4 5 months back WhatsApp stopped for 4 hours, Facebook stopped for 4 hours, recently Microsoft stopped for few hours. Do you know the reason? Artificial intelligence is the main reason. They may not expose you this, they may not tell you about this clearly, but the reason is artificial intelligence. Because of artificial intelligence, these all issues. Why Facebook stopped for 4 hours, do you know? So that means officially they said some technical problem, but technically what happened is they developed a robot, artificial intelligence robot, to handle certain functionality. And what that robot has done, that robot has developed other clone robots by itself, and it has designed a new language to communicate with them internally. That means a developer designed a robot for artificial intelligence. That robot created clones, and that robot started communicating with those clones with its own language, which is not known to developer. Then what happens? The server is out of control. Then they have to stop the server in order to remove that, in order to handle that. That means these artificial intelligence are not completely safe proven. So officially they give warning every time. I think you know already in YouTube, you can find the videos of Facebook CEO, Google CEO interrogated by American Congress. Have you seen those videos? Go through those videos. American Congress means FBI, and American Congress have interrogated Google CEO, Facebook CEO, and they warned them that your artificial intelligence is not safe. If you don't use in the limits, then we are going to ban you, block you. That is, you can see clear conversation. they will ask so many questions. They grill those two CEOs. They ask so many questions. And when you listen to those answers, you will never use Facebook again. That means Facebook CEO answers that I don't know, I am not responsible. That means they say that your data is leaked here, your data is sent from here to here, somebody is accessing your data. He says that I am not responsible. Openly he says that I am not responsible, then it's very dangerous. So that is technically these are very good, but within limits. We already have these. We already have this. That is the reason we are not very much worried about this. Why? Because we already seen this. Your generation is very excited about it, but we have seen all these such things so many years back. All, and we know that they are not going to take over. We know that they will help us within limits. They are not going to take over us. That means they will not replace our job. They will help us little better to do our jobs in a easy way, but they are not going to replace. Because when you heard about this concept, you must be very surprised. Like, I as a developer, I will just write a code, and for my code, database will be created, UI also created. This is surprising. But actually this mechanism, we call this as what? ORM. I will show you a point here. Actually, ORM introduces entity video. Yeah. This is actually ORM. That means this is ORM. This is any developer actually. Any developer. I have designed this for only .NET, but actually all developers it is suitable. So it eliminates the need of most of the data access code developers usually need to write. And do you know what happens is, I will show you. This is the algorithm it follows. That is the algorithm it follows. ORM follows this algorithm. ORM is going to follow this algorithm. What is this algorithm? So already database is there. If already database is there, do you know our software can create logic for the database? Logic means CRUD operations, create, read, update, delete. That means you just have database and tell that I want CRUD operations for this database. It will write all the logic for you. Insert logic, update logic, delete logic. That's good. That is very good. And second approach is, that is actually, first approach is you design the classes and there is no database. Then what happens? We call this approach as what? Generally we call this approach as code first. Code first means what? You have classes, you design the classes, and you just design the classes. According to your classes, database will be created. This approach is called as what? Code first. There is database first. Database first means already database is there. Then if already database is there, whatever classes are required, it will create the classes for you. That is very good. There is another approach. You don't have database, you don't have classes, but you have a model. Model means, do you know ER diagrams? ER diagram means entity relationship diagram. We design a drawing. In the drawing, we will sell what table name, what field names, and everything. And that ER diagram you design, according to the diagram, it will design the classes, it will design the database. That means you need to just draw a diagram. According to your diagram, classes will be generated and logic is created. Logic is created, database is created. This approach is called as model first approach. Model first approach. And this is a very, actually this is related to latest versions actually. I will show you this entity video presentation. So this is the presentation. This is entity video presentation is, yeah. Yeah, this is the entity video presentation, final ET entity diagrams are there. These are all related to entity framework, older entity framework actually. Entity. You see, this is the first, this is the later version I actually designed, and this is in 2016. This is in 2016. I prepared this presentation for entity, that is ORM. This is in 2016. I prepared this presentation for our developers on .NET technology, and it is fourth version at that time. That means before that we have already 4 versions. That means in 2011, 2010 itself we used this mechanism. That means 10, 15 years back we already have this concept. That means you don't do anything. Just tell the software what you want. It will create everything for you. This may be very surprising and very interesting for the new generation, because new generation is limited with certain technologies. They don't know everything. They know only what they are learning. They are not aware of everything. Then these excite very much. But a person who knows all different technologies which he explored, he knows that already these concepts are there here and there. Only the point is they are now trending. For example, you know Python. Python is very trending language, but it is a 30 years old language. All 30 years old Python is doing sleeping. Python is sleeping, and suddenly from past 3-4 years Python wake up. That is nothing but a 30-year-old language. Why it is trending now? That means Python is not a new language. Your artificial intelligence also like that. We have artificial intelligence several years back. Only the concept is now a little bit trending just because it is helping developers in a better way, but it is not going to take over. That means people who know all this, they are not worried about these artificial intelligence. They just interested in using them. And what is speciality of ORM? Do you know? Actually, what if anybody asks like how this ORM helps? What is the concept of ORM? ORM introduces features like ORM introduces features like identity resolution, identity resolution, lazy loading, change tracking, etc. Identity resolution, lazy loading, change tracking, all these are some of the features of ORM. Actually, it enables various approaches. It enables various approaches. So like code first, database first, like code first, database first. So developers can write for business requirements. Developers can write for business requirements. Developers can write for business requirements instead of data requirements. Instead of data requirements. Instead of data requirements. So MongoDB is very special in all these things. MongoDB is very special in handling this mechanism. I will show you in MongoDB how a database is created for our logic, we will see practically. So how we can do that, how it is possible. So what is the point is, you just write for your business requirements. It will track to the database. It will manage database for you. So that is one option. Actually, MongoDB have several more features. So it supports indexing. So it supports data replications, because these data replications, indexing, these all are nothing but uh, it supports ad hoc queries. It supports ad hoc queries. Ad hoc querying. So ad hoc queries are nothing but dynamic queries. That means a query is generated according to the requirement. You don't need to keep the query ready. That means you don't need to write the query and keep the query ready. Query is also automatically created according to your requirements. That is ad hoc queries. Data replication means data is always on. It is a specialty of cloud-based database. MongoDB is a cloud-based. And cloud-based database, it is very popular. Data replication is nothing but it can manage the load of data easily. Load of data is nothing but what happens. Suppose we have a database, and in the database, so database, we have 1,000 users can access it. 1,000 users can access this database. But what happens is 5,000 users are trying to access at a time. For example, some offer is given from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Then millions of more users will come at that time. Then what happens is, what it can do is, it can replicate the data. It can make a duplicate of the data. It can make a duplicate of the data, and through the duplicate, it can give access to the rest. This is very common nature of cloud-based databases, and MongoDB is a cloud-based database. And do you know, recently one of the popular, means becoming popular cloud-based artificial intelligence databases in the market, it is now going to trend, that is Snowflake. Snowflake is one database which is going to trend in the market. Already all senior software developers started learning it. And we know that this is going to make a good trend in the market for future generation. For senior experts in companies, they are asking this now. Snowflake is a very popular artificial intelligence database. Snowflake database. So Snowflake database, it is a cloud database actually. Yeah, this is the official website. This is a data cloud. This is a data cloud. So this is now trending very much. So this is the cloud services, cloud based. This is one artificial intelligence data cloud database, and this is trending currently. Trending means actually several companies, several software companies asking their seniors to learn this, because they are now trying to transform themselves into this Snowflake. This is one of the good database with artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, and this is going to make a good demand in the current market. Current market. Already senior software engineers are learning this in different technologies. Why? Because their companies are asking to update them to this because they are trying to change to this. That means their all database now will be warehouse, everything will be in Snowflake. Already several companies in Bangalore, Pune, and other locations started implementing these. Some of the companies which I know where our people are working, they asking us like, sir, in our institute, have they started this Snowflake? Because they are old students. They are 15, 10 years back, they learned technologies from us. And they want now this Snowflake. They're asking, is there anybody teaching? So because now companies are asking them to upgrade to this database because it is a good cloud-based artificial intelligence database. And it is very good suitable for the current generation market. So that's the reason they are trying that. But we are not sure how much it will do. But already from several old students, I got this query. That means their company is asking and they want to learn. Already they are 10 years seniors. 10 years back, they learned technologies like .NET, Java, React, Angular, like concepts. And they want now this database to learn. Several queries came from past 1 month that is our institute teaching this. So why? Because they are asking the developers to use. And actually that is the nature of cloud database, data replications and ad hoc queries. These are all the features of this. So these are some important key features of MongoDB. Now we are going to use this MongoDB as a database for our project. Now how to set up, I will show you. So set up MongoDB on your PC. So you need to download and install this MongoDB on your PC. I will give a direct link. This is the direct MongoDB link. So you have to visit directly this mongodb.com. And actually MongoDB is a big cloud service. So you will be guided to different places and you will be feeling difficulty in finding the correct one to download. That's the reason I am giving a direct download link. Because MongoDB is a complete cloud service like AWS and others. So they have a complete cloud service. So you will be confused. Actually, they have Mongo Atlas, Mongo Cloud, so much is there. That's the reason I'm giving a direct download link. This is the download for only MongoDB database. Only MongoDB database. It is a download for database. What you do is you visit that link I given. You see MongoDB community server will be there. This is the MongoDB community server. And a direct download link for your operating system. Different operating system it is available. And you can directly download it. It is a simple package, just like next, you have to follow the steps. Only one additional thing is, so download community server and install by selecting. You have to install by selecting MongoDB Compass in options. Actually, while installing, it will ask you, do you want to install MongoDB Compass? You have to select it. Make sure that you select it. Remember, MongoDB old version is different, new version is different. So people who are working with MongoDB old version, their approach is now changed. They completely changed. That means earlier people who worked on MongoDB, they can run that from command prompt directly in their computer. But now they have disabled that facility. In the latest version, you need a tool called MongoDB Compass. What this Compass tool will do is, so MongoDB Compass provides both GUI and CLI for database. graphical user interface, command line interface. What is command line interface means? Through commands, you can directly control the database, create database, modify database, delete the database. GUI advantage is without using commands, you can directly manage. That means you can simply click a button and create a database. You can simply click a button and delete a database. Deleting, inserting, updating, these you can do without using any commands if you have a GUI. So MongoDB have both GUI and CLI, and that you will get from MongoDB Compass, right? You download this setup file, you download the setup file and install. You will get the latest version, and while installing, it will ask, do you want to install MongoDB Compass? You make sure that you selected MongoDB Compass, right? Okay, once it is downloaded and installed successfully, now what you have to do is, next point, start MongoDB server on your PC. You have to start MongoDB server on your PC. You need to start MongoDB server on your PC. MongoDB server, how you have to start? Why? Actually, MongoDB server automatically start, but sometimes your PC may have some other databases like Oracle, MySQL, other databases. So technically what happens is some database servers will disable other database servers. Whenever I turn on my device, my computer, some servers may be stopped. You have to make sure that it is started. How to start it? So you have to open services.msc. In services.msc, you have MongoDB server, and this we have to start. That means in your computer, you will have services. Directly in run, you can type services.msc, or in the programs, you can search services.msc. This is services app. You go to that services app and it will show all the services that are currently running in your device. In the services list, go to MongoDB service. You can see MongoDB server. MongoDB server, currently it is running. Sometimes it is not running. And if it is not running, you cannot use it. So obviously it is for everybody, even SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle also, sometimes they may stop. And if they are stopped, you have to come here and start them. That means you have to just right click on it and say start, right? So make sure that you started. After that, now open MongoDB Compass tool and connect to server, connect to MongoDB database server. So the server and its connection string. Connection string is MongoDB colon /127.0.0.1 colon 27017. That is the standard connection string for MongoDB anywhere in the world. In any computer you install, MongoDB connection string is standard. I hope you people know every database have a different connection string, right? So Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, every database requires a different connection string. And this is the MongoDB connection string. From any technology, if you have to connect with MongoDB, this is the connection string you have to use. Any backend technology can communicate with MongoDB with this connection string. They have to connect with them. So what you have to do now, once the server is started, what you have to do, go to MongoDB Compass. This is MongoDB Compass. This is MongoDB Compass tool. This is the MongoDB Compass tool. And in this Compass tool, in this Compass tool, what you need to do is, here it is asking new connection. Here you have to define the connection string. And what is the connection string? MongoDB colon double slash 127.0.0.1 colon 27017. That is the standard connection string. And you connect, then it is connected with MongoDB database. It is connected. And you can see here, I am already having lot of databases here. I am having lot of databases already here. But you will have only some default database first time. When you are using first time, you will have some default database. Actually, this is GUI. Graphical interface advantage is, without knowing a command, you can create database, tables, data, everything. But a developer need commands, because if he have to communicate with any technology from the backend to with the database, he need commands. We need to learn the commands. So this is the database already it is having. For example, I will remove some database so that we can create. Okay, fine. So these are all the databases we are having, and observe below you will have a CLI tool, just like a terminal. This is command line tool. Actually, in old version, even today, when you watch about MongoDB and all, some tutorials on YouTube and websites, they still show the old version technique, which will not work anymore. It will not work anymore. Old version technique is nothing but they use this terminal. They use this terminal like this. What they do, open your computer. In the computer, you have C drive. In the C drive, program files. In the program files, you will have MongoDB. MongoDB will be there in the program files. Yeah, here MongoDB will be there in the program files. In the MongoDB, you will have a server. In the server, you will have version. In the version, we have bin. In bin folder, you will have the commands. MongoD, that is the command. MongoD is a command which is used to start. That means this we open in command prompt. And you see there is a mongod.exe. That means we type mongod. When you type mongod.exe, exe is not required, just mongod. It will start the Mongo terminal. It will start the Mongo terminal. But now they have removed it. In the latest version, it is not possible. That is the reason in your some of the companies, they install a old version of MongoDB and they use this mechanism. And still several people may show you this. But you better do the latest. That means in latest, you don't need to do all this. Actually, what you have to do, just install MongoDB Compass. And in this Compass, you will have both graphical interface and you will have command line. And through commands, we can control the database. So we have to learn 4 sets of commands: creating database, inserting data into database, reading the data from database, updating and deleting the data. These CRUD operations, we have to just need the CRUD operation related. Then we can create a database and we can use this for our React application, right? However, React will not directly communicate with database, right? For that, it needs a server side technology. We need APIs, we need server side logic to create. So in this database, we will see the commands, how to handle them. So you need to know another point, MongoDB terminology. you need to learn some important terms about MongoDB. Actually, suppose you are dealing with Oracle, MySQL, or SQL Server, like databases. If you are dealing with these databases and we have MongoDB like database, then what is the point is actually in Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, where data is kept, actually we have a database. And in MongoDB also you have a database. That means in Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, we keep data in a database. Here also we have a database. But in database where we store the data, actually Oracle and all these, they store data in a table. Data is stored in a table. So here we don't have tables. Here we have collection. That means there is no table in MongoDB. MongoDB don't have tables. Here tables are called as what? Collection. In a table, how data is stored? Actually, in a table, data is stored in a record. Record is nothing but row. We call it as a row. That means every table have a row. Here we have a document. Here we have a document. That means here we don't have records. Here we don't have rows. We call them as what? Document. Every row is considered as a document. Every row is independent. Every row is an individual document. It can work like an individual document. So, and in a document, how the data is present means how we can access the data from a document. Actually, you need a field name. You need a field name. So that means we need field. Here also we have same field. Document have field. But actually this field is referred as a key. Because what is the concept of this document? This document is like a JSON document. The document is like a JSON document. That means it will have a key and value. In MongoDB, the data is just directly stored like JSON. That means in MongoDB, data is not stored like a table. It is stored like a JSON. That is directly JSON type data. It is having JSON type data. And you know, JSON type data means it will have a key and a value. Key and value. Actually, in general databases, you have joins. In general databases, you have joins. Here we call embedded documents. We call embedded documents. These are some important points you need to know. So in MongoDB, data is kept in a database. In a database, data is stored in a collection. Collection have the data in the form of documents. And every document represents a JSON. It represents a JSON. These are the basic terms. So in MongoDB, you don't have tables. We have collection. So this is the basic terminology you need to understand. The basic terminology. Now let's see how we can deal with the commands. So MongoDB shell commands. Some basic commands I will explain here. MongoDB shell commands. What are the important commands you should know? So to view the existing databases, you have to use show dbs. That is the command. And MongoDB is case sensitive. Capitalization matters. You have to use the commands in the same capitalization as I showed here. To view existing databases, what we have, we need a command show dbs. Show dbs. So observe here, this is MongoDB compass. In that, this is the shell. Shell is a terminal. It is a shell. It is a terminal. Here we have to run the commands. So how do we run the command? Show dbs. Show dbs will get the list of all databases and show. That means what databases are available, it will get the list of databases and display. To view the databases available, we have to use show DBS. Next important is to view the active database. To view the active database, we have to just use DB command. DB is to tell you which database is currently active. Because in command prompt, it is difficult to understand which database is active because it will not show the database name clearly every time. But new versions are easy. In the new version, they show the database directly. Currently, we have a test database. And if you want to see current database, which one is active, just we have to use DB. DB says the current database is test. Earlier, what is the problem is actually earlier, we don't have this database name. We used to have only this like a terminal. Then it is difficult to find out which database we are currently working. That is the reason this option will be easy. To access the current database, we have to use DB. DB is the command. Next, important, to create a new database or to start using existing database, we have a command use and a database name. We can create database and we can use existing database by using this use command. Use is the command. That means if you given the name of an existing database, it will start using it. If you given a new name, it will create it. It will create the database. That means it is for two purpose, creating database and using existing database. But one important is database is not created permanently until or unless you put some tables in it. That means you put some collections in it. If there are no collections, the database you created will be deleted automatically when you close. That means database that you created is not permanent until or unless there is some data in it. There is some table in it. If they don't have tables, it will be automatically deleted when you close it. So use is used for using the database. For example, I say use and database name. Suppose there is a database called fake store DB and it starts using the database. Switch to fake store DB. In that, what tables are present I want to see. Then we have show collections. Show collections, it will show there is a table called TBL products. We can start using any database just by using this mechanism. How to see tables and all later we will see. But so show DBS, these are the databases. I want to create a new database. Suppose I want to create a database called, so let me check, already so many databases are there. Okay, so I will create some database called to do react. To do react is some database I want to create. So then what you do, use to do react. To do react I am giving. To do react is the database name. I want to create a database by name to do react. So then enter, it switched. Switched means database is created, but it is not shown in the list. That means if you say show DBS in the list, you will not find it. That means to do react is not there. Why? Because database is not permanent until or unless you add some collection. So that means you add some tables into it, right? So what we need to do here is we need to add some tables into it. This is create database. That means here I will simply give an option. Database name can be a new name or existing. Can be a new name or existing. If it is a new name, then MongoDB will create database. If it is a new name, then MongoDB will create database. And another point is database is displayed in list only when there are collections in database. Only when there are collections in database. If there are no collections in database, then it will not. There are collections in database. So now how to create collections? That means example I will give. We have use to do React. That is the database name. Now, how to add collection into the database? To add collection. Here collection means what? Table into database. To add collection into database, we have to use the command db.create collection and name and options. And these options are optional. That means you can ignore them. You can just simply create collection. And here just name is enough. Options are not mandatory. Table is created by using create collection. And it is case sensitive also. The commands are case sensitive, just like JavaScript. So we can create a collection by using this create collection. So how to create a collection? For example, in this, I want to create a collection db.create collection. Create collection and collection name. Collection name is table name, any name. For example, I given TBL users. TBL users is the collection. And actually, it will have options also. Means table settings. Table settings are optional. You can ignore them. But what can be options, I will tell you. TBL users, you just click, it is created. It says OK, that means it is created. Now you can see show DBS in the databases to do React is there. So we have a table also, but it is empty. We can put some data into that. Actually, we can have options. If you don't give options, it will take options by default. And what are the options you can give? So we have option and we have a description. Option is not compulsory, but if you want, you can define the options. What is the option is auto index ID. Actually, this auto index ID, it is a auto index ID is a boolean. Boolean means it is true or false, and it sets an auto generated primary key primary key for record, for document. Auto generated primary key for document. That means auto generated primary key will be there. That means a unique ID will be created for every record. So automatically one ID will be created for every record. It's a boolean. If you don't want, then you can set it as false. But very recently they announced that in future versions they are going to remove this. Currently it is there, but in future versions they are going to remove that option. They are going to remove that facility. Another option we are having, we have like max is a number. It's a number. It defines the number of maximum number of records. Here records means what? Documents to allow. It defines the maximum number of documents to allow. How many documents you want to allow? That is max. That means you can put a limit like max 10. Then you cannot have more than 10 records. We can set the maximum limit. You have size. This is also number. This is also number. So it defines memory allocated for collection. It defines memory allocated for collection, and memory is in bytes. How many bytes to be allocated for collection? That means when you create a table, you can tell how many bytes for table. That means 1 MB, 2 MB, 4 MB, you can set limit. That means you cannot store more than that. So you can put a limit for that. And another option is capped. Capped is a boolean. Capped is a boolean. Capped is a boolean. Capped is a boolean. And what is this? Capped is nothing but if capped is true. It depends on max also. Capped and max both are dependent. Actually, if capped is true and max is 10, that means max is 10 records and capped is true. Then you added 11th record, trying to store 11th record. What will happen? If capped is true and you are adding 11th record where max is only 10, what will happen? It will say there is no enough memory. You cannot store 11. But if capped is false, it will delete the old one and add the new one. That means if capped is false, then old records will be replaced with the new. For example, you see, you have a history and you have recent files. When any software you open, recent files list will come. In file menu, you will have recent files. And those recent files have a capped nature, false. Capped nature false means what? After 4 recent files, when you add the 5th one, then what will happen? Old one will be removed, this one will be added. That is the nature of capped. So it depends on max. If it is set to false, If it is set to false, then old documents are replaced with new documents, are replaced with new documents. That is actually capped. Auto index ID, max, size capped. If you don't give options, by default auto index ID is true. By default it is true. Max and size depends on how much memory available on the device. And capped is by default true. Capped is by default true. So default, so here important is default auto index ID and capped are true. Auto index ID and capped are true. So when you create a database collection, you have to give these options. These options are not mandatory. These options you can give. This is creating a table collection. And with options, if you want to create, then what you do is actually we have to use db dot create collection. Collection name is suppose TBL products, some name I am giving. And options we can give like this, like an object. What is the key? Auto index ID. Auto index ID is a boolean. That means true. Another one max. Max is how much? Suppose 10. Another one size. Size is how much? It should be in bytes. Suppose I want 4 MB. Then how do you calculate 4 MB? You have to calculate in bytes. That means 1024 into 1024. This is how much? 1 MB. 1024 bytes into 1024, it is 1 MB. 1 MB into 4, this is 4 MB. That means we need to calculate the 4 MB and copy this 4 MB and put that 4 MB here. And actually, comma should not be there. That is 4 MB size. And we can use another one. What is it? Capped. Capped can be true or false. And once you give, a table will be created by that option. If you don't give options, automatically it will take the features. So if you give the options, it will be limited with that. You can't change the structure. Once the structure is created, it is fixed. You cannot change the structure of table, right? So this is how we can create the collections. How you can create collection. And to view the collections, what are present? So to view collections, what is the command? Show collections. You have to just use show collections. Show collections will show the list of the tables that you have created in your database. We have to just use show collections. So show collections, it is going to display two. There are two collections. One users, another one is products. Two collections are there. Now they are empty. They don't have any data. Now we need to add some data into that. That means we need to add the data. Means how do we insert data into a table? Generally SQL have insert, select queries. But here we have simple methods that we will see tomorrow. Right? In tomorrow's session, first you try up to this installing, setting up everything. In tomorrow's session, we will learn all the CRUD operation. That means reading, inserting, updating and deleting. Then we are ready with the database. Then we will go to API, server side technology. We can create our own APIs that we will see in the next session. Okay, right.